9440. 4405. 9440 405
All right, welcome back to another week's show. We're going to be talking about some upcoming events that's occurring this week. Also, too, we've got some additional photographs of people we got warrants on and property crimes that have occurred this week. So hopefully, you as the viewers will be able to recognize and help us solve some of these cases. Also, too, with keeping in mindset, I like to talk about, just this past week, we've got the holidays coming up, all kind of events occurring. So just be mindful of congested traffic and the holiday seasons and impaired drivers, distracted drivers. We've had a couple of very serious accidents out on 431 just this week alone. So we just want everybody to be mindful and be safe, and also to just be careful of posting things on social media about upcoming wrecks that you've witnessed and the details. We're all human, and how you as a loved one would want to be notified about one of your family members being involved in an accident. It's okay to say that, there's a wreck to, detour traffic, but let's leave out the details on social media. So also, too, we'd like to show the arrest for this week. You never let us down, so let's see what we've got. We got 3 additional arrests for the week, which puts us at a total of 4,655. So that's awesome. So maybe you can look at this week's lineup and help us solve some more and get some more numbers up there.
Methods for a job search have greatly changed since I went looking for a job. We meticulously wrote a resume, filled out an application to physically return, then we sat and wait for a phone call to come in for an interview. With the recent graduation of our local high school seniors, college seniors, and others looking for a job, there is the internet job search websites to explore. Unfortunately, many of these websites, such as Monster, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, and so many more, are now being used by scammers also. My high school senior recently got an email from jobblur.com. The email stated she could earn at least $24 an hour for working at home. This was a repacking and reshipping opportunity. Ordered items would be shipped to our address. They would send a new label to cover the old one, then she would send it out. Easy. Great pay, too. Unfortunately, this is a scam, a type of money laundering. Sometimes it could be a check, a money order, or a retail package from a reputable store. But the item may have been bought with a stolen credit card or bank account number. The person listed on the shipping label may have been as unsuspecting as you. This package could be sent to 3 or 4 people before the final destination. Other times, the emails that one would get offering jobs with "click here for more information" or "click here to apply" are actually phishing for your Social Security and driver's license numbers. They may need your banking information to deposit your paycheck. They may send you a paycheck, but it might be over the amount, and they would ask that you cash it and send back the difference. It's a bogus check, and they only want the cash that you can get. Be aware of the website you are responding to. Read the address of the email it was sent from. Research the website and the company name, and warn those who are venturing out into our business world for the first time. For more information, you can call me, Nancy Hilton, at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, 256-236-6600.
Welcome back to the first half of this week's lineup. We have Dwight Bard of Anniston, Alabama, wanted on probation violation for Community Notification Act, which is a SORNA violation. Robin Wood of Anniston, Alabama, wanted for possession of a controlled substance and possession of marijuana second. Khalil Smith of Anniston, wanted for probation violation for attempted burglary second. Ginger Horton of Anniston, wanted for theft of property first. Ramon Soria out of East Aboga is wanted for an unauthorized use of a vehicle. Raquez Thomas out of Anniston is wanted on a failure to appear for obstructing governmental operations and resisting arrest. If you have any information about these cases, please call the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you recognize somebody in the lineup and give us a call and help them get them located. So today we have Jason Lindell with us. He's from ASAP. So I know we've had guests in the past from the program, but just tell us a little bit what that stands for and what all that you do.
We're the state designated prevention agency in Calhoun County. We do substance abuse prevention, education as well. We try to get you on the front end, educate you on the dangers of different types of substance abuse, whether it be anything from tobacco to alcohol all the way up to the synthetic drugs. So we try to catch you and educate you so you don't get hooked and end up in the recovery process or the treatment process.
Right, and I know that being involved with your agency, that y'all are very involved with the community and have different programs going on. Just about every month you have a new event that's occurring. So tell us a little bit about the upcoming event this week.
This week is the National Prescription Drug Take Back. The one in April was canceled due to COVID, so October 24th, 2020, from 10 to 2 is the National Prescription Drug Take Back. So we've got 4 locations where if you have unused, expired, old medication, you can bring it. We partner with local law enforcement to have it properly disposed of. Don't flush it. We don't want it flushed down the toilet or anything like that, or just to hang on to it. We want to get rid of it properly.
Okay. So is this any kind of medication, or is there any kind of restrictions on what can be disposed of?
We take anything you got, whether it be over the counter. I've seen over the counter pills. We've also seen Class 2, Schedule 2 narcotics come in. So we take anything that you have or anything you want to clean out and get rid of.
Okay. So how does this program work as far as Saturday's event?
So Saturday we've got 4 locations. We've got in Heflin, we have Wright's Pharmacy. In Jacksonville, we're working with Walgreens. In Anniston, the Walgreens on Quintard, and then in Oxford, we'll be at the CVS right here on the corner of 21 and 78. We're going to practice all CDC guidelines for this prescription drug take back. So it'll be strictly a drive-through. So we'll have a tent, 10 by 10 table set out. So all you literally have to do is drive up, hand it out the window to us, and we'll fill a box up. And then when the day's over, we give it to law enforcement. They properly give it to the ATF for proper disposal.
Right, and I know, like you said, at each event that you will have law enforcement there assisting you. What you got, Heflin PD at the Heflin, and then at the Jacksonville location, you'll have Jacksonville Police Department, and then the Anniston location, Anniston Police Department, and then the Ops location, you got the Sheriff's Office going to be there to help. So at the end of the day, then all of that's collected, boxed up, sealed, and then taken back to those agencies, correct?
Yes, ma'am, for storage, and then I think they give it to the ATF, and I believe it's incineration is what they do. So, so if you've got any old, expired, unused medications, we're trying to get it out of the house, out of reach of teenagers, individuals that might struggle with substance abuse issues. COVID's put a little bit, the numbers have gone up, overdoses we've seen gone up.
Right.
Where people who struggle with that, you don't have the relationships or the help, talking to our recovery friends, the accountability. So we're trying to help clean it up so our numbers of overdoses in Calhoun County continue to go down.
Right, okay. So what about like needles or anything like that?
Needles we don't really take because you need a sharps container.
Right.
So I think you can take it to the health department. I need to check that. But needles we don't do. Anything pokey, diabetic supplies, things of that nature. I think they would rather have just pills. So especially used needles needs to be in a sharps container.
Right.
For proper disposal that way.
So that's why, so if somebody did show up for the drop-off site and did have some hypodermic needles and stuff, would they be directed to a different location? Or
probably maybe even go inside. I'll check with the local pharmacies that we partner with. They have sharps containers, I believe, so maybe we can use theirs, but that's a good question. I'll get that information to you. when
I
I
know
find
you're not
out.
going to have this problem, but what if somebody shows up with illegal narcotics?
They can talk to our local law enforcement.
Okay,
So
sounds
luckily,
great.
we partner with great law enforcement. They can have a conversation with them.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know. So, all right. So, as far as, like I said, we don't want anything flushed down the toilet, anything, thrown in the trash, anything like that. So this is a safe way to dispose of any kind of unused medication.
Absolutely. And a lot of times we see people who, whether it be older, elderly, they hold on to it because they don't know what to do with it. So you've got people with grocery bags full of it because they might have had a loved one pass away, or someone's gone into hospice care and they just physically they don't want to flush it, they don't want to throw away. They physically hold on to it because they don't know what to do. So
Right.
this is a great opportunity to offload that in a safe manner.
And I know at the sheriff's office that in our lobby we have a permanent site. So that's also another location that you can drop off that day as well as any other day. And I know there's some other permanent sites throughout agencies throughout Calhoun County that if you don't get to do it on Saturday's event, that there's some different locations throughout the county that you can dispose of medication.
Absolutely. If you can't make it out on Saturday from 10 to 2, the Sheriff's Department, Oxford Police Department, a lot of Anderson Police Department have drop boxes.
Right.
There's even one in Downey Drug in Alexandria where you can just 365 days out of the year drop them off at your own discretion.
Okay, so right now we're going to take a break and then we'll be back for the second part of this week's show. Welcome back to the second half of this week's lineup. We have Rebecca Perry out of West Blockton, Alabama. She's wanted for assault third. Anthony Cardegas out of Rome, Georgia. He's wanted for failure to pay on theft of property third and attempted to elude. Charles Seals out of Anniston is wanted on a failure to appear for assault second. Marquita Burns out of Anniston is wanted for a failure to appear for obstructing government operations. Sabrina Jason out of Huntsville is wanted for a failure to appear for receiving stolen property third. Terry Thornburg out of Lincoln is wanted for a probation revocation for illegal possession of prescription drugs and theft of property third. Joseph Holloway from Talladega is wanted for probation revocation for obstructing justice using a false identity. If you have any information about these cases, please give us a call at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600. All right, welcome back to the second portion of this week's show. All right, Jason, I know that we get calls like this on a regular basis as far as overdoses, but I've seen a pattern in the past about month that we have gotten an increase in these type calls where people have overdosed. And is any resources or guidance or suggestions or have you dealt with anything like that?
It seems almost since COVID hit back in March when everything kind of shut down, we saw an increase over time, not necessarily in March, but throughout the summer where people who were in recovery, in treatment, now all of a sudden they're not going to work, they don't have those one-on-one communications, those accountability partners.
Or may not have been able to work.
Absolutely. I've seen a couple individuals who were clean for years and then relapse over that time period.
Right.
Currently, we actually have in Anniston, the corner of 10th and Quintard, we've got a pill bottle, and it's there to draw attention to, hey, we do have a problem in Calhoun County and the surrounding area for whether it be prescription drugs or even heroin overdoses, to draw attention to it. And when you walk up to the prescription pill bottle, on it has different resources for people who might be struggling, different agencies, whether it be Bradford or Ross or NA or AA. So,
well, I've seen the pill bottle.
Yep.
I've seen it displayed. So that's.
So if you walk up to it, it's got those resources and the phone numbers to it. So it'll be on the corner of 10th and Quintard until Friday, and then we're actually going to move it to the CVS in Oxford, right there on the corner of 21 and 78.
Okay.
the goal is to move it around the county throughout the year, just to, again, draw attention to it, and then to get individuals help. Kind of like if you've got a problem and you don't know where to reach out to, I feel like the problem could be getting worse.
Okay. Well, have you noticed on the increase of the overdose, whether it's going to be like prescription medication or if it's illegal narcotics?
A lot of it we see starts with prescription drugs, but it ends up being heroin is the big. It's cheaper. It's probably easier to get. Our numbers, we work closely with the coroner. I think in 2019 we had 11 confirmed opioid overdose deaths in the county. That number will go up. I think we've surpassed 11. I don't know exactly, and we've still got at least 2 months to go in 2020.
Now, are those fatalities or just
Fatalities?
overdoses?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately, just fatalities. It's very difficult to track the overdoses because it does. Fortunately, it doesn't kill everybody who overdoses.
Right.
Whether it be Narcan, whether they just don't succumb to it, but those were fatalities.
Right. That's what I've noticed on a lot of our calls too. The call would come in that they're unresponsive, and then EMS, they would get injected with Narcan and then come back too. But we have seen an increase in these type calls and stuff. Anything that we can do to try to help prevent this?
I think it's education. I think know your community resources. Again, we are the prevention agency, so we try to be out and about and educate. We do work with different law enforcement. We try to do things in the schools. Obviously, COVID's made that a little bit more difficult. Got great administrators at the county school board. But again, educate yourself as well. Be aware, whether it be for the prescription drugs. Lock them up. Know what your kids are doing. Know what your teenagers are doing.
That's what there's unused narcotics that's in your home. If one way is to dispose of them for Saturday's type event or have them locked up.
We moved my in-laws a few years ago, and when we were moving them, my father-in-law literally had Walmart bags full of prescription medicine, some going back to the 90s, that he just held on to because he didn't know what to do. Now, he didn't have teenagers in his house, but it's always being aware, whether it be what your kids are involved. Social media is a big one as well. So parents need to be involved in many different ways. Educate yourself and know what's out there.
Right.
But also know your community resources, because there are great agencies around to help.
Okay, and I think we've got a flyer as well. That way we can, before
Absolutely.
closing out the show, repost the locations of the event coming up for Saturday.
Yep.
So if you want to just go over the information.
Yep, 10 to 2 on October 24th at Wright's Pharmacy in Heflin, CVS here in Oxford, and then 2 Walgreens locations. One is on Quintard and Anniston, and the other one is on Pelham Road in Jacksonville. So all CDC guidelines will be followed. It's going to be hopefully a drive-through, drop them off, and then continue on, hopefully, your beautiful Saturday afternoon.
Okay, well, sounds great. Well, thank you, Jason, for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, viewers, for always coming through and having a positive reaction on the show. Welcome back. We have some property crimes that we want you to look at to see if you can help us solve. On October the 9th, we had a residence near Rocky Ridge Road and Watkins Road that was broken into. Damage was caused to the door. A skill saw, 2 tree stands, some hand tools, and a commercial type mop buckets were stolen from the residence. Between October the 7th and October the 11th, a vehicle that was parked at a residence on Mayfield Road in Lincoln was broken into, and gas was stolen from the vehicle. Between October the 10th and October the 16th, a residence and a vehicle on McLean Drive was broken into. They had numerous tools, a car title, speakers and amps, and a pit bull dog was stolen from the residence. If you have any information about these cases, please contact the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600.